from St. Stephen, New Brunswick, it's time for Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks is sponsored by Echo, only professional grade with 5-year warranty. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Gas Guzzler lifts gas and oils from land, vehicles, and tools. Yamaha, what kind of Yamaha are you?
The St. Croix Island was first settled in 1604 by French explorer Samuel de Champlain. It's located just outside of St. Stephen, New Brunswick, which is Canada's chocolate town and host of an international lumberjack competition every year on New Brunswick Day. Hi, I'm Bill Deba, host of Lumberjacks TV series. I'm with my co-host and Lumberjack sport analyst, Rod Cumberland. And Rod, this week we're covering the obstacle pole. I know you know it well because you set it up, didn't you?
We try to keep things just as even as we can in St. Stephen, and for good reason. We have Jean-Simon Bertrand here. He won a great obstacle pole buck in Lister, Quebec a few weeks ago, and he'll be running against Luke Bork from St. John, New Brunswick, one of the fastest guys in the East on the obstacle pole.
We'll also be watching the springboard shop this week, a multi-skill event for the Lumberjacks. They got to put the notches in, climbing the boards. Who do you got in this field that is going to be exciting to watch?
Marcel Dupuis, young and upcoming Lumberjack competitor, doing phenomenal right now in the springboard shop. But Donald Lambert, been at this for 25 to 30 years. He is chopping unbelievable. It'll be a great race between those two competitors.
Well, it's a beautiful summer day here for New Brunswick Day in St. Stephen for a lumberjack competition. Last week we got started with Donald Lambert having a fantastic day. He won the standing block and he followed up with a win in the double buck. He's got a 100-point lead over 3 other guys. This week we're getting started with an always exciting event to watch. It's the obstacle pole buck.
Sean Bugby from Mapleton, Maine. I'm a forester.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Russell. I'm a plumber by trade, and I'm from Memramcook, New Brunswick.
Well, here we go. Heat number 1 of the obstacle pole. We got John versus Sean, and this is a difficult event. I mean, there's a lot of different skills involved here. The most difficult, in my opinion anyway, is running up a log with a chainsaw at a 30-degree angle.
Yeah, it gets harder and harder as you get older, doesn't it, Bill?
Absolutely. It looked like Sean really struggling at the end here. John Russell making it look easy, racing up that pole, getting into his cut right out of the gate.
It's a tiny event, so obviously you need to do all these skills and do them as fast as you can. The advantage goes to the younger guys like John Russell here. He's just a young man in his 20s, and look at him here, getting the job done really quick.
Well, and John Russell wins the heat with 21.63, and Sean's going to get the job done here. This like any good lumberjack does. No matter what his time is, he's going to try and get it done, get a time, maybe finish in the money. But look at John Russell making really quick work of this.
Obviously doing everything right. There's a lot of different skills here. You got to cross both lines, only turn the saw on once you get over the top line. You got to use both sides of the bar. There's all kinds of rules here. You got to follow them all in order to get the job done and get a good time.
Heat number 1, 21.63 is now in the books. We got Scott Reed taking on Robert Bork, and again, 2 different body types here.
2 different body types, and again, this is where age comes into play. You know, we've seen some of these guys on watching Lumberjacks for a lot of years here. Robert Bork getting up there, he's getting crouching on 50 years old, and you see he's walking a little bit more gingerly than he once did. He used to be a fast guy at this. Scott Reed having a lot of trouble. It's not even he likes to do.
Well, Scott Reed's got definitely a lower center of gravity, but he's having a hard time with his balance on that pole. It's a very narrow pole, only about, 8-9 inches at the top of the pole, and Scott Reed bails out on it. It's going to take a DQ. Robert Bork clocks him with time of 23.35 as Scott Reed, he just struggles.
He struggles, and you can see him losing his balance right off the bat here. He counters the other way, and he just comes off the log.
Mario Bork. I'm from Memramcook, New Brunswick. I work for Corrections Service Canada.
Sheridan Doyle, live in Winthrop, Maine. I'm an arborist.
Here we go, heading into heat number 3 of the OP, 21.63. Still a time to beat, set by John Russell in the first heat. We got Sheridan taking on Mario.
And Sheridan Doyle, of course, not only coming out of retirement, he's doing an event that he doesn't do a whole lot of. This event, obstacle pole buck, not done a lot in the U.S. is an East Coast, West Coast Canada event.
Mario flies up the log and gets into the cut ASAP. Sheridan struggles at the beginning, but he's trying to make a bit of a comeback, wobbling a little bit. Mario making quick work of this, heading back to the finish line. Mario lowers the time to beat down at 19.43. Sheridan really had a hard time getting to the beginning of the log here. You can see him on the log, ready to go, maybe a little bit too early. Gets back on, gets his balance, and recovers.
Hi, my name is Paul Woodland. I'm from Benton, New Brunswick, and I'm a logger.
Vince Maciel, arborist, live in West Tisbury, Massachusetts.
Heat number 4 of the OP, we got a new time to beat. 1943 set by Mario Burke. We got Vince taking on Paul.
Not sure if they'll best that time here, but they're running against each other. Vince Maciel, he's an arborist. Oh, has a little bit of a struggle there staying on the log, but he's still there. Paul Woodland, of course, getting up, and he's taking his ginger old time. Gonna say, make sure he doesn't break anything, because he wants to compete in the axe events.
Fantastic recovery there by Vince Maciel at the top of the log. He holds on to it. Looks like he's gonna win this heat. Vince Maciel takes out Paul Woodland. Time of 23.84. Mario still has a time to beat, but how about this recovery, Rod? How difficult is that?
Some metal cleats on the bottom. This is where you really see the advantage of having those on the bottom of your feet.
Bonjour, my name is Donald Lambert. I am a technical solution specialist, and I live in Saint-Gilles, Quebec.
Hello, my name is Marcel Dupuis. I'm from Memramcook, New Brunswick, and I work as a firefighter for the city of Moncton.
Here we go, heat number 5. Marcel Dupuis taking on Donald Lambert. Still a time to beat. 1943 set back in the third heat by Mario Bourque.
And Marcel Dupuis knows he can beat this time. Donald Lambert, of course, going head-to-head against Marcel. This has become a classic battle between these two guys.
They both run races over the year. Look at Marcel racing up that log. Donald right with him.
Close race. Donald Lambert bogs a saw, gives Marcel Dupuis an edge, and he's coming down as fast as he can go.
Just touches the line, wipes out, gets back up. Marcel Dupuis lowers the time to beat with an 18.09. Donald Lambert right behind him just by a couple of seconds. Look at Marcel's descent here.
Oh, look, some close. He barely gets that line. He recovers, gets up off the ground, and makes a dash to the end of the pole.
Hello, my name is Simon Bertrand. I'm a welder at Rico Steel, and I'm from Sparwood, BC.
Hello, my name is Luke Bork. I'm from Rogersville, New Brunswick, currently living in St. John, New Brunswick. I work in the quality control business.
Here we go, the final heat of the OP. The time to beat was just lowered by Marcel Dupuis in the last heat with 18.09. Simon versus Luke. It's going to be a great race.
Two of the fastest men in the business. Jean-Simon Bertrand won in Lister, Quebec. Luke Bourque won in Petitcodiac, so you know they're both wicked fast at the obstacle pole.
You can see the balance on these guys. They have fantastic balance on this 10-inch diameter log right at the end there. They use their spikes to grip on. And now they're both racing down. And oh, Luke Bourque drops his saw. Simon Bertrand's going to win the heat with a 19.07. Very unlike Luke Bourque to be dropping a saw at the end of the log like that.
Luke Bourque, he's wicked fast in his descent. Something you see him, this is where he makes up all this time. He drops the saw, has to go back for it. Talk about covering a lot of mistakes up here. Grabs the saw, makes his run for the end, misses the end of the log.
OP's a tough race. A lot of good competitors. Luke Bourque, we got Simon Bertrand. I mean, you were really going hard.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You got to give it all when all these guys, these fast guys are there. And I got pretty lucky because on the way down there, if I had a couple more inches to go, I don't think I would have made it. So it's a pretty lucky run there.
What happened with the fall there?
I was losing my balance coming down, and then when I got close to the end, I thought I was going to fall off, so I jumped to try to make the line, and then I was able to make the line, so it ended up good for me.
Well, there it is. A firefighter from Moncton, New Brunswick gets stuck in the sand, but it doesn't hold him back long enough as he takes first place in the OP.